running scams on the street since I was 10. I was kicked out of the flight academy for having a mind of my own. I'm gonna be a pilot. Best in the galaxy.
Hey, kid. I'm putting together a crew. You in?
That's yes.
Get ready.
Thought we were in trouble there for a second, but it's fine. We're fine.
What the Flick? I'm Matt, that's Christy. Very excited to be talking about Solo. But before Christy tells you what the movie's all about, I'm gonna remind you really quick that we partnered with Atom Tickets. You can go to atomtickets.com and use the code WTF5 and you will get $5 off your first purchase. Now, Christy, would you tell us what Solo's about? Because I'm sure nobody knows.
Nobody knows. This is a story about the adorably roguish Lando Calrissian, man of a million capes, who lost his beloved Millennium Falcon playing a game of sabacc with a young Han Solo. This is fun. This is kind of empty and fun. To me, this felt like the most like product, right? This felt the most like we need to expand the universe and fill in the holes in between. And this is, as we're fond of saying around here, a Muppet Babies version of all these characters you come to know. And so it hits the notes you want it to hit. And it, it introduces Han and Chewie to each other. It introduces Han and Lando to each other. You see the Millennium Falcon for the first time, which admittedly is very cool.
Right.
When it's very new and shiny.
Right.
And it's fun and it's light, but like
It's
not
fine.
necessary.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Right? That's the best I can say. It's got some good fight scenes. It's got some good action. You know, I wish that it felt, the flying scenes and the chase scenes, I wish felt more exciting the way the original trilogy does. As much as we like to look at some of the stuff that happens in, say, the prequels and complain about Lucas, like that, the scene where they're going through the Death Star trench in the first movie is terrific, and that's really exciting. And
in Star Wars,
in Star Wars, right? And then the scene we get in Return of the Jedi as they're flying through the trees on the speeder bikes is awesome.
It's thrilling, yeah.
Very thrilling. This doesn't ever quite get there.
No.
And I feel like it actually gives us a little more than we needed. Like you start to get every question you may have had about Han, you kind of get,
like
whether
how
you
he
want
got
it
his
or not.
name.
Like you get,
Things like that.
It's just too much a little bit. And so the other characters that are in this don't get much time, and you don't really ever get to know them and know why they matter. Like Tandy Newton is in this very briefly. Look, like, do you get a little bit of a sense of like why Solo as a character is so kind of keeping everybody at arm's length? Sure, this sets that up.
He learns not to trust.
Right, he learns not to trust. I think Emilia Clarke is fine in this. I mean, look, everybody's fine. I think the one who actually is having the most fun is Bettany.
Now, I was going to say Donald Glover. Donald Glover pretty much steals this entire thing just by the sheer force of his charisma.
I don't disagree with you, except that I think Bettany was actually putting in a more interesting character than even Glover.
Okay.
Because, look, Glover's fine, but he's really kind of just doing Billy D. Williams. Like, you don't really necessarily see much of, whereas Ehrenreich isn't trying to do Harrison Ford, right?
He is not. He's got kind of like the smirk and the swag, or the beginnings of it, but that was really smart to not do a Harrison Ford impression, unlike like Ewan McGregor is doing Alec Guinness.
Right.
And that's kind of cool.
Right.
This is a different approach to an iconic character.
One of the things that bothers me with this movie is that you get a sense of like that swagger, that kind of arrogance is there in Han, and that fast talking, like talk my way or shoot my way out of anything is right there at the beginning, right? Or takes off with him pretty quickly. But the movie seems to undercut every moment that he acts confident to like pull the rug out from under him. And
like it doesn't work?
Well, yeah, like he's always like, oh, I can do this, oh, I got that. And then almost every time they pull it out from him and it's like, oh, well, now he's just kind of coming off like a blowhard.
Well, maybe he's
Like,
honing his
maybe.
arrogant swagger at that point. Like he's not the
Okay.
Han we'll come to know. Could you tell from this that this film had a bit of a tumultuous backstory? I kind of couldn't. I mean, Ron Howard took over as director from Miller and Lord, who infamously left in a dispute, a creative dispute with Kathleen Kennedy over the tone and direction or the substance or whatever. Could you tell that this is in any way kind of pieced together? Or?
No, because it all kind of, I mean, there's, at no point are you feeling like, oh my God, why are they, like it doesn't, we've talked about, one of the things I like to complain about in a movie is if it doesn't make sense, like, oh, I feel like there's pages missing out of the script. That I didn't feel was going on here. My thought was, if Ron Howard fixed this, how bad was it to begin with?
Yeah.
Right? Because it's not genius. Like, it's serviceable.
It's light.
It's light. He gets it over the finish line. It's fine. I am kind of curious to see what Miller and Lord would have done with this.
Yeah.
Maybe he would have got something a little bit different. The supporting cast is decent. I mean, not decent. They're good.
Yeah, they're all solid.
I'd be much more interested seeing another movie with more of Bettany's character.
Okay.
Because I thought that was a character that comes in and at no point is he predictable at all. Like, you don't know what he's going to do.
Right.
And that's awesome.
And the ship that he's on is cool. It's like a
Right.
vertical yacht.
Yeah.
It's like a big pen with an elevator up the middle of it.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It's like a
looking.
flying elevator.
I understand that character originally was like a CGI character, and then they
interesting.
decided to cast an actual person. And Paul Bettany does bring kind of a dangerous air to him and unpredictability to him that you're right is missing elsewhere, because Han's always going to be Han and Lando's always going to be Lando, and the characters are a little predictable here and there. Woody Harrelson, can do this with an arm tied behind his back.
Right.
Like, he can do that kind of swaggering, roguish thing also. The train chase is fun.
Yeah, there's some good set pieces in this.
L3 is a
Yeah,
fun
that's a
character.
fun
The
one,
robot,
too.
Lando's robot.
Yeah, it's in certain cases, 2 or 3 of the characters around Han and Chewie and Lando are actually more interesting, I think,
Yes.
than anything else going on
I agree.
here.
I want to mention, too, the way it's shot. It's a thing I like to talk about here. So the great cinematographer Bradford Young shot this. And he has shot movies like Arrival and Ain't Them Body Saints, and he uses A Most Violent Year, and he uses darkness and he uses shadow in really dramatic ways. And he tries to apply that here with Ron Howard in a big spectacle, and I don't know that necessarily works in that. I saw it in 3D. I don't know if you did.
I don't remember. No.
We went to the 3D theater because it was supposedly less crowded than the 2D theater. So we saw it in 3D. And with the 3D glasses, if you're going to see it in 3D like I did, with the 3D glasses on top of how dark a lot of it is, especially early on when you're first seeing Han in the slums.
Right.
And then a lot of the big set pieces are through space and through weird time portals and things. It's very dark. And it's hard to see a lot of the time what's happening action-wise. I wish I had seen it in 2D and was frequently doing this with the glasses.
Yeah, I didn't see it in 3D, and so some of the stuff that Bradford does with the depth, like especially there's scenes where you're seeing people in the foreground and ships, and you get a sense that they are on the world that they're supposed to be on. That I thought was shot really well. It added kind of a realism that I think you haven't necessarily seen in Rogue One, for instance, because those felt like sets. Look, technically, it all comes together from a storyline. I think if you haven't seen Star Wars or you're not up on top of all of this, you're probably going to enjoy it a little bit more.
Oh, I was going to say, you need to have seen a lot of this stuff to get why things matter, like them talking about doing the Kessel Run in under 12 parsecs or whatever. I think you need to have seen a lot of them to get why certain things and characters matter, I would argue.
Okay.
You think you could go into this cold and just have fun?
I'd be shocked if you went into this having never seen a Star Wars movie. Like, why would you bother?
I don't know. It's confusing because we all have to start somewhere, I
Right,
suppose.
so-
Yeah, I'm saying 6.
Saying
Fun.
6.
My kid had fun.
It's fine. It's fine. We're all fine here.
My kid had a good
Everything's
time.
fine.
I think he liked it better than
How are
I
you?
did. Yes. So our numbers are 6. It's at 71% on the tomato meter, which maybe is a bit disappointing compared to other recent Star Wars. Anyway, go see it and enjoy it.
It's no holiday special.
No, it's not. But it's a long holiday weekend, so go and enjoy and use your Atom ticket
Yes.
promotional thingy and take $5 off. Enjoy. Bye.